So we're going to back up out of here, and hopefully we're not going to get hit. And we're going to head her on up the road. Hopefully I won't knock down the camera because I didn't put the GoPro mount on the windshield. I just got you sitting up there on the tripod. Let you see as we drive back through the countryside what Deep South of Alabama looks like on a day where we're 99 degrees on a Sunday, July the 14th. So let's take a ride. Now, this will be the first test on this GoPro, actually using it like an action cam. It's supposed to have excellent stability. We're going to see when we get to the house. Reposition y'all a little bit there. Hopefully you won't get dizzy or car sick. We're going to head on up here and we're going to go the back way. Take a ride off Highway 14 to 229. Hang on. Now we're going north on 229. We're still, we're on the far west side, outside the city limits of my little small town. And we're just going to cruise through the country on our way back, rather than going through the heart of our city. We're going to take the back roads. Why? Because we enjoy it. Never hurts to take a little country road trip. And I'll add some music later on when I get ready to edit this video. And if I see anything along the way of interest that I might want to point out, I'll make a comment. So, okay, sit back, take a big sip of your cold drink, let's ride along. Now we're heading on up here to Kent, Alabama. And there's not much up here but a 4-way stop. I think they still got a convenience store. Used to have a grocery store, it closed. Used to have a dairy dip, it closed. Pretty much everything's closed but the fireworks stand and the convenience store. We'll be there in just a minute. And here we are, we're coming to the 4-way stop. This is the center of Kent, Alabama, if you ever wondered. We're going to make a right on here, on County Line 44, which will take us back in along the river, right on the west edge of Tallahassee, Alabama. Well, that was it for Kent, well, except for some residential houses. And this road here, County 44, follows the river. That'd be the Tallapoosa River. On down to what used to be the old center of our small town. That's pretty much dried up now, and everything's moved up along the highway up along 14 and 229. But it's pleasant scenery. Now, once upon a time, not more than 15, 20 years ago, most of this area back in here were small working farms. They're all gone now. City people have moved out to the country. And they don't do much more than plant grass, shrubs, flowers. That's about it. All along this road as we ride, I've not seen one garden patch in any of the yards, front or back or sideways. And that's sad. Because once upon a time, 90% of the homes and places out here would have had a vegetable garden. Would have had sweet corn, melon, tomatoes. That's all gone. Hardly anybody in my small town raises a garden anymore, with the exception of a couple tomato plants, maybe a pepper plant or two. That's about it. I'm one of less than half a dozen gardeners that put in anything but tomatoes and peppers. It wasn't always like that. Now you might be wondering, especially if you're not from the South, the Deep South, where's all that cotton? Well, that too has long since gone away. The majority of people now, they don't farm, and the majority that do, don't raise cotton anymore. We do have one large farm on the south side of town, going out towards the interstate. That's Taylor Farm. They raise a lot of cotton. I'm not sure how many tens of thousands of acres they own, but it's a large place. On their place still, cotton is king. That's about it for cotton production anymore. Now we're back coming into the city limits, and we will actually, here in a couple of minutes, we'll cross over Graveyard Creek Bridge up into the center of the old town. Now you might have caught, as we go down through here, the magnolia tree. And if you're watching closely at the trees, you would see as we came down County Road 44, there's a lot of pecan trees. Pretty much everybody's got pecan trees. They didn't plant them. At one time, this area of Alabama had a real large pecan production area. Now, like I say, city people have come out here and built their homes, and they kept some of the pecan trees. Some they cut down to build their homes, put in their yards. But as far as pecan production goes now in this area, it's probably not 20% of what it was back as little as 20 years ago. And this is Rose Hill Cemetery we're going through now. This is one and two of our city's cemeteries. You probably know where the other one's at. That's my neighbor. to the north of me, where I live, over on the east side. We're coming on down here to Graveyard Creek. And now they got the water level lowered in the lake because they're installing new gates on our dam. In fact, actually, within 5 miles, there are 3 major Alabama power generation dams. And they make up Thurlow Reservoir, which we just crossing over. And then to the north of that is Yates. I hit that bump so hard I knocked y'all over. I guess I will have to put the GoPro mount on the windshield if I'm going to take y'all for a ride. Here we are. You just take a look at our little town. This used to be the center of it. And it was thriving back in the 40s, 50s, 60s, even the 70s. It's went downhill since the 70s. Most businesses are closed. Most storefronts are empty. You can see the one across the light there on the right. It's empty. As we make this left here, you'll see several shops over here on the right as we make the turn that are empty as well. And basically, probably 90% of what used to be the shops here, they're empty. They've been closed for years. And now we're about to go over a world famous bridge. This is the Benjamin Fitzpatrick Bridge. Why is it famous? It is the longest bridge, I believe, maybe in America or on the east side of Mississippi, that is curved and goes upgrade and downgrade. Over to the right, you might have saw the remnants of what was the cotton mill that started this town. Well, that was actually the second one. You might have caught the first one. Both of them have burned. Both of them have collapsed. We're now on what they call the east side, and this is referred to as East Tallahassee. At one time, many years ago, it was Carville. And most of us still call it Carville. But at some point in time, Tallahassee annexed it. And the houses you're seeing on the left and right and all through these neighborhoods are the original mill houses. They were built by the craftsmen at the mill, carpenters, framers, finishers. And that was back in the 1800s, up through the early 1900s. And they used to be in pretty bad shape. Young people have picked them up and have done some renovation and remodeling, updating. So this side of the river is coming on back. Maybe it'll be what it used to be before I die. Who knows? So we're going to turn in the old convenience store here. I got to pick something up before we head off into the neighborhood back to the house. So I'm gonna leave y'all in here. I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. Didn't take that long at all. So, we're gonna head on up to the house. Now these are, I'd like to say newer homes. They weren't built by the mill. But when I say newer, we're talking 60s, 70s, possibly some in the 80s. I think there's only been one or two built over here in this neighborhood in the last 10 years. But you got a mixture. You got some really nice homes. You got some okay homes. Then you got, in a place or two still, ghettos. Most of them are gone. They seem to have an uncanny knack for eventually burning down. Probably because electrical wiring in them has never been upgraded. But I'm proud to see some young people coming back in the neighborhoods, because most of our young people, including both my children, they move off. And I can't blame them. There's not much action for a young person here in our little town. But if you're wanting a quiet place, peaceful for the most part, it's that. It'll be interesting when I edit this later, just to see how much you could see. Because I don't have it where I can see the screen, so I can tell what's actually being recorded and what is not. Now this is the street I live on. And at one time, all these houses were very well upkept. All of them had families and children. There were 3 or 4 that were elderly couples. Of course, they've either passed away or went to the home. But that was one of the reasons I went ahead and, when I first came and started to rent this house where I'm at now before I bought it, because there were kids here for my children to play with, all about their own age. But for the most part, that too is all gone. So there you have it, folks. I figured, what the heck? Might as well show you what we see on our way back from Walmart.